Hello, quilting friends. Happy Tuesday. I lost track of time, so I'm a little late today, and I have a little different background going on here. I am at my sister's house while she's out of town, and this way I'm nearby for my mom and my mother-in-law and my father-in-law if they need anything. And also my dog. My sister's dog is here as well. Um, so I am going to turn on the comments to see who's here. I don't know what's happening now. The comments look different. I don't want that. Where are my comments? Default. So leave me a comment and let me see what's happening. There we go. Oh, Joan. Okay, so they look better now. So hi, Joan. I'm glad you're here. I think you're in Pennsylvania, and I'm in Pennsylvania too, but all the way on the other side of the state. So I'm in Pittsburgh right now, back in my hometown. So what have I been doing? I've been here. I drove here on Friday and got to deal with a little bit of snow on the way, and then I've been here. See, Sandal. Hello. Are you in the States, Sandal? Hello for you right now, for wherever you are. And hello, Pat in Wisconsin. Yay. And Ronnie, hello. I'm sorry, my nose is stuffy. It's environmental. I'm not sick or anything. Checking in from lovely Florida. But is Florida lovely? Because I've heard it's kind of cold down here. I mean, not Northeast US deep freeze, because I think we're up to 15 degrees today, but a low of 3. So I'm dealing with snow at my sister's house and my mom's house. I'm dealing with pipes, trying to make sure they don't freeze, basic winter stuff. I like winter when I sit home and my husband takes care of everything. When I have to take care of it, I don't like it as much. And I like it when I can stay home. So yeah, my sister is somewhere in the islands. She's in the Bahamas right now. So she's having a beautiful day wearing summer clothes. And she just texted me, and I may be telling her, I hate you, you suck. I mean, have a good time. Just because it's really cold here. Oh, so it's sunny and warm in the sunshine? Okay, so you must not be in the northernmost part, because I saw there were like snow flurries in northern Florida, which is silly. And Madeline, hello, Madeline. I can't share your post because it's an emoji and it's not going to show. It's text only on the sharing, but hello. So that's what I did. Let me go back and check my list of what I am to talk about. It's weird because I'm not home, so it's nope, wrong list. Facebook Live. So greeting. Oh, by the way, I'm still waiting for a grandchild who is 8 days late. So no hurry on that one. But hopefully by the time I get home, I'll have a grandbaby. Let's see what else I have to tell you. No color blocks in 2026. That was on my list from last week. Now, I had been working on a color block quilt before I left home, but I didn't get it done. So I was trying to have content out for Monday. So you won't have content out Monday of a finished color block quilt, but you will have it out later sometime next week, I hope. Let's see, Madeline, hello, sending hearts to you too. Hi. Let's see, what else do I have to talk about? Oh, so 30 days to quilt from Quilt Top to Quilted is up and running. And let's see where we're up to. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Since I talked to you, let's see. We were selecting our top thread last week. Then we were selecting the bobbin thread. Does anyone have favorite threads they want to tell us about? I am not a thread purist. I use whatever works. I do find that the like embroidery threads, my machine bobbin chokes on those a little bit. If I use it in the top thread, it tends to get hung up in the bobbin on my machine. So I do better with cotton or with a spun polyester. So I'm talking like, I use like a 50 weight cotton, thread like Tootie or Confetti from Wonderfil. Those are 50 weight cottons. I also work with like an Omni from Superior, and that is a Tex 30, about a 40 weight. Spun polyester. It's around a cord and pretty inexpensive, but I have a lot of it, and my machine seems to work pretty well with it. Like I said, using an embroidery thread for high speed quilting in my home sewing machine, I tend to break bobbin cases when I do that because I have a drop-in bobbin on mine, and it just tends to the strength of that embroidery thread tends to cut into my bobbin case. So not the best for me. I'm not saying like for folks who use Glide or folks who use Master Quilt or things like that, enjoy it. I've had a few hiccups with it myself. And I use it on my long arm with absolutely no problem. It just my current home sewing machine chokes on it a little bit. So bobbin thread, I'm pretty consistent with bobbin thread. I use Deco Bob in the bobbin, or I use Bottom Line in the bobbin. And if I don't have a lot of Glide, but if I'm sure I could use that in the bobbin as well. That wouldn't be a problem. Do you pre-wound versus wind yourself? On my home machine, I'm kind of split between them, but I do a lot of pre-wounds. On my long arm machine, pre-wounds all the way. Let's see what the other lessons are. Day 7, I talked about my thread choices for last year's blanket fort quilts and for this year's Here Be Dragon quilts. And I just pull out my favorite colors. I have like 10 favorite colors that are black, tan, like a cream, white, light gray, white, the cream has some gray in it, gray, tan, navy blue, red, bright yellow, icky green, and a pinky purple. Those are the 10 colors I work with the most. And what I do is I just put them, when I'm picking out a quilt, those are sitting right there, and I just put them on the table and move away the ones I don't like. So I put them all on and go, nope, 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 until I find one I like. For the most part, that's how I pick thread. And I have videos on that in class of how I pick thread. Let's see. After that, we were talking about selecting your needle. Did you know that needles were a thing? Like every quilt deserves a new needle. I'm not super specific about needles. I just like a nice sharp one, and I'll use what works. So it's not like, oh, if you're not using a size 70 Microtex, I don't really have that kind of a concern. Having some, excuse me, my nose is getting to me right now. Heather, hello in Melbourne. I'm guessing you are not dealing with below 0 temperatures, because right now the low today is 3 in the States. And in Celsius, that's negative 16 degrees. So I'm guessing you don't have that ever in Australia, but certainly not right now, because I think you're in the middle of summer. So enjoy some warm weather, bask in it for us, because the northern part of the United States and the eastern part of the United States, we're all kind of cold right now. I may have a shirt on, I may have a sweater on, and I may have a heating pad in my lap, just trying to keep warm with extra slippers on. Just it's a little cold, just bone chilling cold right here. It's 16 below. So I really look forward to going out later, and I look forward to taking the dog out all the time. Oh, Kathy, it's 15 in Carmel. It's actually 15 where I am in Pennsylvania right now, but it's going down to 3. And you all back home had a lot more snow than I did. We just had an inch on Saturday, an inch on Sunday, and an inch on Monday. I know you got more than that at home. It's just a lot to deal with because I can't shovel. I can't bend. I have, just my mobility issues make it rough. But we found some angels. My sister's new neighbor, I found him out there one morning shoveling the front part of the driveway for me. And then I was able to sweep off the walk without falling. And my mom lives 22 houses away, so down the street. And she found some little kids out shoveling just the top part of her driveway, just a car length, so I can back in and pick her up and take her to the doctor's or whatever. And we've been sweeping her walk. So it's been nice. It was just been such a blessing. And the blessing with my neighbor here, I didn't catch the little boys and we don't know where they live. But the neighbor I caught here, I know where he lives. So I may have gone out and bought cake for him. Oh, and for me. Oh, and for my mother-in-law. So I bought those nothing bunt cakes because, hey, I can. And he was like, "You didn't have to buy me a cake." I'm like, "You didn't have to shovel my driveway, but I really appreciated it." Just a really nice young man, late 20s, new couple moved in across the street from my sister. So yay, up with people, such a blessing. So I talked about needles, and today's lesson in class, in 30 days from quilt top to quilted, is marking your quilts. How do you mark your quilts? I have video in there, talk about different ways I mark, and some are traditional and some are non-traditional. The short version is, I use a lot of pounce. I try to get away without marking whenever I don't have to. I try to use a lot of pounce, and I'll use like a chalk pencil or a blue marker. That's the short version, but I have videos in there of how I do marking to get ready for quilting. Let's see. Thank goodness for helpful neighbors. Yeah. I live out in the woods, so I don't really know a lot of my neighbors. Like my next door neighbors have 7 acres. I've got 4. We can't really see each other. So we don't really, and they're new across this next door. I kind of know the ones on the other side of me, and the ones across the street. One was new last year, one was new during the pandemic. The one next to me was new last year. So we just don't know a lot of our neighbors, and we don't really see them all very much. Heather, we don't go that low here or have snow. It's due to be in the 80 today, over 90 for the last. Oh, now I don't like it over 90. I can live with 80. Over 90, my heart doesn't like the weather, but I hate the summer the most. I hate the winter next. Then I like spring, and fall is my favorite, then spring. Winter's tough when I have to deal with snow. The cold is gross. Again, I might be sitting with a heating pad in my lap. I carry a heating pad wherever I go because of my back, but right now it's just for heat. But yeah, snow's a lot to deal with when you can't move. If my husband were here, I wouldn't have a problem with the snow. He would take care of everything because he's pretty awesome. But yeah, this is not beach weather right now. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near a beach with it being 16 degrees below 0 Celsius. So gross. So today's lesson was marking your quilt, and a preview of tomorrow. Tomorrow is getting a grip on your quilt. And that's when you're pushing your quilt on your home machine or on a stationary machine, how to grip your quilt, how to hold on to it well. I can do videos and do samples. And when I work for the sewing machine company, I can quilt a little bit with my bare hands. But in this cold weather like this, and my hands get tired trying to grip onto that fabric. I really get hand fatigue. So I'll talk about different ways to grip your quilt, to make it so that it's easier for your hands to grip onto your quilt. So I have some information on that tomorrow, and then maybe a free pattern in there. See, Janet, hi, it's good to see you after your surgery. I hope things are coming along as well as you hope, or even better. So that's my 30 days from quilt top to quilted. I've got this week is day 9, 10, 11, and 12. They're all ready to go. I post them every night for people like Heather who are in another country or another continent or another hemisphere or the other side of the world. Because I don't get up early in the morning, and I want to make sure that it's up for you on the right day. Now, purchases. What have I purchased here? Nothing. I mean, I took my mom grocery shopping. That's about it. Carol, hello from frigid Ontario. How bad? Because you have a little more lakey stuff going up there. Oh, Janet, I'm glad you're doing well. So Ontario, I don't know if you do temperatures in Celsius or Fahrenheit, but I don't think I would like either of your numbers, because 3 is what we're getting down to tonight. I don't like that in Fahrenheit, and -16 in Celsius is even worse. So I didn't buy anything new, but I have new stuff. So my sister, I have a bedroom at my sister's house. It might be bright orange and it might have been my nephew's room. But it's now my room. And then as she's anticipating me coming, she may buy me treats. Ooh, I left one of the treats in the other room. She bought me a new Stanley because my Stanley was full of stickers. I got a Hello Kitty with a little straw thing on it, which is really nice. She got me some Hello Kitty water bottle stickers, which is nice. A Hello Kitty satin pillowcase for the hair. I'm gonna have to have a Hello Kitty party with plates and napkins, serviettes. Hello Kitty Uno game that I might have to. I see some grandma time coming in with my only granddaughter. I have a fourth grandson coming any minute. He's 8 days late, and I have 3 other grandsons. So I've got to indoctrinate the next generation. Oh, and a little cosmetic bag that we all know is going to turn into a Hello Kitty sewing bag. She doesn't leave my husband out, though. So I just go in my room and find all the stuff she leaves for me. She left something for my husband that he may or may not get. Which is a Star Wars mug, but apparently the lightsabers turn into colors when you put hot in here, which I haven't done yet because I just unboxed it. But apparently the lightsaber colors come out when the cup gets hot. I may or may not have a Star Wars living room. I don't like Hello Kitty at all. I may have a Hello Kitty sewing machine too. Now, what my sister doesn't know, because I don't think she's going to watch the whole video, because she's on limited internet where she is. Let me see what's behind here. I may or may not have a bag of 500 googly eyes. Now, this is not working out. Like, I've left stuff at my sister's house before. I have flamingo at her front yard. I've hidden rubber duckies all through her house, hundreds of them. But now I have these, and my thought was to come and put these on all of her pictures. And then I don't want to do any damage, and these are sticky. These are self-sticky, which are hard for me to get the sticker off the back to make them sticky. And I don't want to leave any gook that she's got a Goo Gone stuff. So I'm not sure where I'll put them. We'll see. I'll figure it out. I have some maybe on light switches, things like that are easy to clean. I don't want to cause any damage. I look up pranks to play at someone's house, and they're like, "Oh, put dead fish under the bed." I'm like, no, not that kind of fight, not that kind of prank. Like putting 100 flamingos in her front yard kind of prank. That's the kind of prank I'll do. But I don't know where these are going, but we'll figure it out. I put it on like one of her dog food things. There's a little dog on the front, and the dog now has googly eyes on the dog food bag, stuff like that. So not turning out as well as I want it to, but if you have ideas for another prank, I'll be back again. So that's what I got going on here. That's my new stuff. What did I start? I started a color block to machine quilt, a color block quilt from 2022. It was Grandma's album, and it's a little quilt, but I didn't finish it, so the video won't be up Monday when I get, I hope to be home Monday, and I'd hoped to get the video up ahead of time, but it just didn't happen. But maybe later next week or the following, that will be up. Let's see what else is going on. UFOs. What did I bring with me? I brought a dotted raised scarf, which is a Stephen West pattern. It's right here. Stephen West for knitters is like saying, what's her name? The one who does all the points, Judy Niemeyer. You're like, oh, I would never do that. That's like Stephen West in the knitting world. So he does things that are all weird shapes, but this is an ombre yarn. It's a really slight ombre. So it went from dark green here to the light green at the end. So it's not It's not a super changing color. And then it's got radiating holes in it they're closer together here. They're further apart at the end. There's math involved. Oh, speaking of Hello Kitty. Oh, look. Do I have a Hello Kitty stitch marker on my knitting? I might. I just might right there. Is Hello Kitty riding a unicorn? Yes, she is. Makes me stupidly happy. So I have that going. I have a pair of socks over there, I think, for me to finish. And then I brought a sweater to finish. So this is a Mayak, 2 colors. It matches a pair of my shoes. What I've done since I was here is I've finished the bottom. So this is supposed to have a rolled edge on the bottom, but I'm long. I'm chubby, and I like to have coverage of my belly. So I made it a little longer, and I made a flat edge because I don't want anything rolling up on me. So I made a flat edge down here. And then the sleeves were supposed to be kind of just a little cap here that rolled up. So I made a 3-inch sleeve on it and made it a flat edge as well because we want to cover some of that. So the last thing I have to do on here is to pick up and knit that rolled edge around the neck and tuck in all the ends. Everyone's favorite job. For me, that's like hand binding a quilt or hand sewing on a label, but like tucking in the ends and stuff that you see here. So that's what I have left to do. And then I'll be able to wear this under a cardigan now, and it'll be a nice t-shirt or a work shirt. But I just loved the colors. And the yarn, I forget the name of the yarn, but it's Mayak, M-Y-A-K. It's like cloud alpaca or something like that. Let's see, Carol, you're loving the 30-day program? I'm so glad. It's kind of everything I want to tell you about how to get started quilting. My basting method is a game changer. Right. Because this girl doesn't bend. It's hard being at my sister's because there's stairs everywhere, and like I'm getting a stair lift at home. And going out, I'm like, oh my word, I'm doing battle with snow. And it's hard enough for me. Like I brought my boots because it's winter, and they're tall boots that I have to get my foot up high to get my foot in the boot. I'm like, it's hard enough putting my boots on without going outside. So basically, that's just my life. I'm disabled. I'm cool with it. But that certainly means I'm not crawling around the floor basting a quilt. I'm not doing it. And if the dog makes a mess, it's hard for me to get on the floor and do it. I'm not going to let my hobby frustrate me like real life frustrates me. Oh, my heating pad turned off. Let's turn the heat back up. So I do the basting method on the table, and I don't get that many puckers. If I get a pucker, it's because I'm not paying attention. And the extra, it's because I have too much backing on it and didn't pay attention, and the backing folded over. That's usually the concern, if I have a concern. But not getting puckers, chef's kiss. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm glad you like it. It helped a lot. And again, 505 is my secret. It's a secret. Not a secret because I'm telling you about it. I always tell people when I recommend that, yeah, it costs a little more. Now, I'm from Pittsburgh, and the entire steel industry, my accent comes back when I visit. The entire steel industry left in the 70s. So I grew up with 70% unemployment in my area. Half the city moved out. So I grew up, with some financial challenges. And I look at something like, I'm not paying that much for it. I'm not paying that much. So 505 costs a little more, but it's worth it. It doesn't have the overspray. It doesn't get the sticky. It doesn't gum up the needle. That's something I'm very comfortable paying money for. So there's a few brands I'm really good with like that, but not only do I not get paid when you buy 505 because I told you to, I turned down money to be the product spokesperson for another brand. And they're like, why don't you want to do this? I'm like, because your product stinks. Like literally, it smells. So I love 505. It's a genuine love from my heart. It's what I use. I wait till I get a good coupon, and I buy every can at the quilt store. That's what I do. They're like, oh, everything in the store, 30% off. I'm like, done, dozen cans. Clear off the shelf and take it all. Carol, you love the sweater? Me too. And it'll be nice getting this done. So I was hoping to have it for the fall, but it'll be ready for the spring. And I have a pair of shoes that matches this perfectly. So really excited about it. And the most exciting thing is when I finish this and the scarf I showed you and the pair of socks that are over there, then I'm allowed by my own rules to go to the store and buy a new sweater. So I got some money for Christmas. Not that I couldn't pay for it on my own, but I got some money for Christmas, and my friend at Pick Up Every Stitch, Karen, designed a sweater named Charlie, and it was named after her recently passed dog. And it's just a really nice pullover, but she had it with 2 layers, so there's like a layer of mohair or something with it, which I've never done. So I'm like, I gotta finish this one, that one, and those socks, and then those baby hats I did for my 2 youngest grandsons, the one that's not born yet, and then the 7-month-old. Those little baby bear hats with the little ears on them that were so cute. If that grandson of mine, who's 8 days overdue, doesn't come soon, his newborn hat won't fit him. But I really hope for his mother's sake that it does fit him, because she's going to be giving birth momentarily or sometime in the next week or so. We hope for a nice tiny little head and a gentle delivery. So I'm going to go buy yarn once I'm done with all this. So hopefully by the end of this trip, I'll go down and visit my friend and pick up my sweater pattern and yarn and everything I need for a new sweater with some yummy Angora or mohair or whatever it is. I'm not a smart knitter. I know a lot about quilting. I'm an expert in quilting. I'm not an expert in knitting. So I have to call for consultations. I have to get advice, and I learn something new with each one. I think it's good for me as a teacher to remember what it's like to learn a craft. Or like, this is confusing. And that's where I try to make quilting not confusing. So I know the frustration of learning new stuff, but also the excitement of mastering it. It's very cool. So yay for that. I did mention something about my friend's recently deceased dog. I just got a tearful call from my daughter that they're losing a member of their family today. And I'm trying to figure out what I can do from so far away. If I was home, I would drive up to help them, because tomorrow's going to be a really rough day with their cat. But if you have ideas, anyone have ideas of what I can do from a distance, what I can send my daughter and her family as they're losing a beloved pet tomorrow? She's just beside herself, and I've been there. It was really hard hearing her call me heartbroken, and you have to listen long enough to find out how serious it is. So I was glad that there was nothing wrong with my grandchild. And while losing a pet makes you heart sick, I do have a line. Now I've cried for days losing pets. I'm all over it. But I'm glad my grandson's fine. I'm glad my daughter and everyone in her family is fine. And I'm very sad that their older cat who's been sick is going to make. But if you have ideas of what I can do from here to help them, because I won't be home. Let's see, today's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, for 5, 6, maybe longer, because there's talking about a snowstorm coming in next week. And if I can't get home, I got to stay here. So I'll take any ideas you have for how to help from a distance, as my daughter's heart's breaking losing a beloved pet. Okay, so that's what I'm making. Let me go back to my list. What did I finish? I finished, placemats. They went out on the internet this week, so let me pull that up. That went out yesterday. So let me share this with you. I'm going to be giving these away on Wednesday to my nephew. This. Yes. Okay. So my nephew, I was at his house this summer when it was 100,000 degrees outside, as opposed to 2 degrees. He has an old house. It's in Shadyside, which is like older Victorian part of the city, and it has beautiful architectural details. I have pictures of the stained glass. I was just snapping some really cool architectural details. And he and his fiance were saying that they wanted placemats. So I made, the first one I made was hexagons because I knew I had hexagons. I knew I had fabric and I could get started right away. So I've been sewing hexagons, which I've shown you. I just pulled out all my creams, hexagon. Then I went and bought this fabric. Bits and Pieces is a shop I teach at a lot in New Hampshire. They have a lot of novelty fabrics, and this was a Tree of Life fabric by John Wright, I think, for Quilt Trend QT fabric. It's in my YouTube video, but there was a panel and then stained glass fabric to go with it. So I just pulled out a bunch of colors and I did a bunch of quilting and made them a pair of placemats. Because this is the year that I want to make more art. So that's the YouTube video I put out on Monday. I have small quilts. I don't know what's going on with my nose today. I'm sorry. Excuse me. It wasn't until I got on the computer. So I'm not sick or anything. Just I have something going. Something's annoying my nose. So I did a bunch of quilts over the years. When I want to play with something, I just make a little fat quarter-size quilt here and there. Try something with a new color, a new technique, a new shape, a new thread. My bias tape maker, just whenever I want to try something, I make a little quilt because I don't want to commit to a big quilt to try out something little. So I have a whole series of placemat size quilts that are not placemats. And when I saw all the architectural details in my nephew's house, I decided to make placemats, literal placemats of all of them. So they will have ones that aren't white in the future, that it just will be different parts of their house will show up on their table over time. Do they need that from me? No. Nope. I made it because I wanted to see how it would look and how the quilting would look and where the inspiration came from. Just playing and seeing what will happen. So it's been a while. I don't think I've done that since I got sick in 2023. I think the last quilt I designed and made just for no reason like that was probably in 21, 22, and it was on my Friday Night Quilt Party YouTube series. And I just was teaching a lot last fall, and I kept taking all my miniature quilts, all my little quilts that I play with, and showing them to everyone. I realized none of these are new. Like I have quilts from 2012. I remember one I made in 2019 to teach at the Maine State Quilt Show because I bound it and put a label on it with a broken collarbone. So I did it with one hand. It looked horrible. So I know it's been a while. It's been at least all of 23, 24, and 25. None of them. So this year, I hope to make something like that every month. I've got pictures. Next one might be a fish because I was at an aquarium and took some cool pictures, and see what this fish photo filters through my brain, filters through my hands, and then comes out as a small quilt. So, yeah, I've been feeling the need to do that because it's very creative for me to design cutie quilts and for me to design color block quilts. But for me to really get in and make a quilt that I don't need to write a pattern for, that I'm not doing it to teach anything, I'm doing it just to experiment, to feed my soul, to exercise my creative muscles and see what happens. I've learned a lot by doing those types of quilts. So I'm pretty excited that I'm going to be making more. So if you haven't seen that, go over to my channel on YouTube. It's Debbie Brown Quilts, which is spelled the same way as where you're watching now on Facebook or YouTube. That is my YouTube, my YouTube channel, and you'll see my more recent video there. Okay, I was just looking at what do I have on sale? Nothing, because I'm not home to ship it to you, so I'm not advertising anything to sell at my store. And what's upcoming? 30 days from quilt top to quilted. And that color block quilt is not done. And then in February, I have a really cool quilt that's already posting the first Monday in February. That is about how to fit feathers in your border. How to make feathers fit your border. when I design quilts, I design them because I'm going to quilt them and they fit perfectly. But what if it's someone else's quilt? Or what if I've changed the quilt? Or what if I ran out of fabric? So I show how I make feathers fit in borders and in a quilt that I finished for my daughter's wife's niece's high school graduation. So it's just a really, really pretty quilt. That was shockingly from Primitive Gatherings. It was called that. So that'll be out next week and we'll talk more about that. I should be here next Tuesday or hopefully at my house next Tuesday. But if there's a couple days snowstorm coming through, I might be in a car on Tuesday. And the next thing I have coming up after that is teaching at Bits and Pieces in New Hampshire. That is going to be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday of next week or the following week. So go to BNP, Bits N Pieces, BNP quilts if you're in the New England area and want to have some in-person home machine and long arm machine classes with snow date of the following week because, again, New England. Let's see. Carrie, hello. Carrie Leonard. Oh, sorry. Little print on these on my computer. So hello, it's good to see you. So that's what I have coming up. I have visiting my nephew, visiting my niece and her family. I have a call into another nephew. I'm taking my in-laws to dinner, doing the hometown stuff, hanging out with mom. Dinner every night. Tonight is chicken cordon bleu risotto. And then again, hoping to finish this sweater, that sock, that scarf, and then I'll head home next week and get back in my studio and make more content for you. So that's what I'm doing. For those of you who live closer to me, eastern or northern part of the United States, stay warm. It is not warm right now. Enjoy the quilting. I'm giving you my permission to quilt and keep your TB off. You may even want to stay off social media. There's a little Instagram kerfuffle going on in the quilt world right now about the right way to do some quilting. So I'm enjoying book series. I'm enjoying podcast series, just because I don't want to participate in any of that drama. So if you need to turn it off, have some fun. I should be here next Tuesday. The only reason I wouldn't be is if I'm actually driving for 8 hours getting home, but I will see you I should see you next week on a Tuesday, and with that, and more content from 30 Days from Quilt Up from Quilted every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of each week. So until I see you again next week, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and happy quilting. I'll see you again on Tuesday at 2:30. Oh, wait, Carrie, you're -10 in Toronto. Oh, yeah, it's going down to -16 tonight. I'm here in Pennsylvania. I live in New York, but I'm out of town with family right now. Yeah, it's gross. Stay warm. Take care of yourself. Heating pad in the lap if needed. Extra cup of tea, hot chocolate if you need it. So take care, everybody. I'll see you again next week.